Okay, we've been covering Donald Trump and immigration basically since before he was even Republican nominee, the infamous "they're not sending their best, they're sending criminals and rapists, and some I am sure are good people" comment. And part of the absurdity of Donald Trump's positions on undocumented immigration are that he himself is a perpetrator of the actual problem around undocumented immigration, which is that companies hire undocumented immigrants and don't suffer the consequences. Even though, strictly speaking, it is against the law, it is very, very easy for the punishment to be levied only on the undocumented immigrant via deportation and not on the company doing the hiring. And I pointed out from the beginning, if you're really going to deal with this issue in a serious manner, before you even talk about a wall and what the wall should be made of, you have to start holding accountable the companies that are hiring undocumented immigrants. We now have a new revelation that not one, not two, but three of Donald Trump's golf clubs have fired undocumented immigrant employees, which they had been employing in some cases for many, many years. This latest news is about Trump National Golf Club Philadelphia, which is in New Jersey. It's called Trump National Golf Club Philadelphia, but it's not in Philadelphia or even in Pennsylvania. It's in New Jersey. This is the third property to fire undocumented workers. We previously had a New York Times report on employees at the Bedminster, New Jersey club. 12 undocumented immigrants were fired there since that report. We've learned about dozens of workers at Trump National Golf Club in Westchester in New York, where dozens of employees, undocumented employees, were fired. And we now have learned that at least 5 workers were either fired or told never to come to work again at Trump Golf Club Philadelphia in New Jersey. And there's every expectation that there's going to be many, many more. So the picture that is very quickly being created, accurately, I would add, is the massive hypocrisy of Donald Trump on this issue. We have not only the fact that while he wants to build a wall and claims to be tough on undocumented immigration, he has said nothing about going after the companies doing the hiring of undocumented immigrants, but has himself been a longtime employer of undocumented immigrants, not only at his clubs, but also even in construction projects, real estate construction projects that he has done in New York City and in other cities. We learned that Donald Trump's wife, Melania, worked illegally here in the United States, which Donald Trump claims to want to deport people for. Melania Trump was initially here in the U.S. On a visa that did not allow her to do any work, and she did work, which goes against the visa. That's something Donald Trump says he wants people deported for doing. And then, of course, Donald Trump wants to get rid of all sorts of paths to citizenship, not only birthright citizenship, but also something called chain migration. And of course, Melania Trump's own parents have become citizens via chain migration, which Donald Trump is against. Now, the defense here for Trump's persistent employment of undocumented immigrants has been, well, listen, no one knew that they were undocumented. Trump definitely didn't know. Even Trump's managers were duped by these fake documents that the employees presented. And now we've fired everybody. The problem, of course, is that a report a couple of weeks ago exposed that it was Donald Trump's businesses that were providing the forged documents to many of these employees. So that's not believable. And we've only recently gotten comment on this third club that was employing undocumented immigrants from Eric Trump, who simply called it heartbreaking, which is sort of weird. Like, which aspect of it exactly is it that's heartbreaking from Eric Trump's point of view? Consider the double standard. Consider the double standard when you think back to, put aside for a second the no consequences for the corporations. Back in 1993, President Bill Clinton nominated Zoe Baird for Attorney General. It was revealed that Zoe Baird's husband had once employed an undocumented immigrant nanny and an undocumented immigrant chauffeur. Okay, Bill Clinton's AG nominee's husband previously had done that. Within 8 days, Zoe Baird was forced into retracting her nomination for Attorney General. Donald Trump has employed dozens of undocumented immigrants at multiple businesses. No consequences for the company. Obviously, no consequences for Trump. And he still is touting himself as the guy who's strong on undocumented immigration, people just shrug. His supporters don't care, or they excuse it. Things have changed radically from 1993, and they've changed radically even from 3 years ago when President Obama was president of the U.S.